Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Nick Bischoff. I'm with Benetti Americas, and I'm pleased to introduce you to Giorgio M Cassetta of Cassetta Design in Rome, Italy. He joins us today.
Good morning.
Full day in Rome. Looks like the weather's turned really nice out there, and you got your short sleeve shirt on, and you're enjoying the blue skies.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I would say good morning to everybody. Being here outside and just enjoying this beautiful spring day. I guess you're familiar with the sun in Florida right now, but for us, spring has finally arrived.
That's wonderful, Giorgio. And one of the things that you're close to Benetti, and you've been with us a long time and done some special projects for us. I'm thinking of the Spectre, a 69-meter Benetti Spectre that was just delivered recently this past year. 63-meter Metis, which many people saw in Monaco, and of course FB272, which is 107-meter luminosity. But more than that, you've done a lot of projects with Benetti. You're not exclusive to Benetti, but you do have a great working relationship with us. But before we really get started on the 116 Mediterraneo, which is why we're here today to talk about that, I wanted to just check in with you to see how everything is going in Rome and how everything is going with your company.
Well, everything is holding up. I mean, we had very bad feelings, very big fears at the beginning, but actually, I must be true to you. Smart working has proven to be very efficient for us. We thought we would lose business, but actually, only a couple negotiations among tens of them that we have at the moment have paused, not even stopped. No client among those who are building boats has run away so far. They're all being quite optimistic and absolutely understanding of the situation. So Italy is gonna basically get out of the very strict lockdown next week, and businesses are reopening. Production is restarting. We're gonna stay in smart working for a little while just because I can reduce the risk. So I'd rather reduce the risk than have everybody in the office. We are lucky enough with our profession to be able to work at home, but everything's been great so far.
We're all looking forward to getting back to it. We're here this morning to talk about the Benetti range of the class range of Benetti products. One of those products is the 116 Mediterraneo. So if you could talk a little bit about the evolution of the class range for Benetti, and then we can get more into the specifics of the 116.
Of course. So the class range, as most people I guess know, has been sort of the core business for Benetti for now more than 25 years, I guess, or well, little less than that. So the 116 Mediterraneo is a project that I started a bunch of years ago and was the first project I ever worked with Benetti, and it was the first to be it was the project that basically opened up the renewal of the whole class range with my collaboration with Benetti. So what we did is we took from what was there before, namely the world famous 121 Classic. We took whatever was very good with those boats and was appreciated by our clients at the time, and we evolved it with a styling that is both reassuring. So it's a timeless boat. It's a very elegant and if you want, well proportioned boat. But at the same time, it also has so many modern clues, and we gave her a lot of functionality, and that was the start for as I was saying, for the renewal of the whole class range, where this kind of form follows function, or even better, form and function go along together, is kept through with the other models.
What's interesting too, Giorgio, is a lot of designers focus on form, and I know that you really live the experience, whether it's Benetti or with one of our competitors. I know you're very active out there, and you love to get out there and boat and see how people are actually using their products. Isn't that true?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's many ways you can be a designer. You can be a stylist. You can be an engineer to the point of not caring about styling so much. I like to kind of be both, but the way I do it is I try to understand how our clients enjoy their boats, because in the end, let's not forget, we are designing extremely expensive toys.
Exactly.
I know many of you can relate to that, but in the end, that's what we're doing. So a boat can be beautiful. It must be beautiful, but beauty is just a part of it, because beauty is what makes people go in just wow when they see her in a boat show, or when you're showing it to your friends. But in the end, if you're spending weeks or months on board, like very often the case with Benetti clients, you want something that is extremely functional, and possibly flawless, almost flawless in terms of whatever is technical. So also maintenance becomes important, ease of use becomes important, and all of these is something that as a designer you cannot ignore, because our role is not just to sketch the boat, is also to make the whole thing work together, make the whole complexity of the project work well, and therefore providing the final client a solid product.
Well, to that point, I mean, yes, you have to fall in love with a product from the dock or shore. You just gotta look at her and say she's beautiful, but it goes deeper than just the looks. We talk about this all the time, that one thing that clients and maybe even brokers forget about is when they get on a Benetti, they got to go beyond just the actual design and the styling of it, right? We talk about that all the time. They've got to open the cupboards, and they've got to look at the bulkhead thicknesses and look at the attention to detail. You see that every day when you're talking to us and our clients.
But what I like to say is, if you actually take away the panels, not just open the cupboards, on a Benetti, you will notice that everything that is behind has been inherited by the experience that the shipyard has with the bigger boats. So the insulation from noise and vibration, the way the wiring is done throughout the boat, the piping, everything. As you were mentioning, the bulkhead thickness. Now, bulkhead thickness on a Benetti is really something, especially on the GRP boat, and that helps you having less squeaking, less noise, more insulation, better quality overall. The long story short is, these little boats are designed with the experience of bigger steel and aluminum boats in mind, and that offers a lot to clients when they are willing to go and see behind the facade.
Yeah, I mean, they're built to super yacht standards, and one of the things, you get onto the boat, you get into the salon, and you don't realize you're standing on a floating floor. To be insulated and from the rest, and the bulkheads are floating as well. So there's so much that goes into the engineering of the product that's correlated with the design. Let's talk about the 116 Mediterraneo, Giorgio. The key, you've designed the 95 Delfino, which you just spoke to. You've designed the 116, and you've designed our flagship 145 in the class range. But what were some of the key areas of focus on the 116? Because this was the first one in the evolution, right? So the 95, 145 followed. So what were the key areas of focus on the 116?
Correct. Well, you must understand the 116 starts to be, in people's perception, quite a big boat. You're talking about that kind of size where people start to expect super yacht standards, as we were saying, in terms of ergonomics. So what we did on that boat is, on one side, we approached the whole project to try not to compromise any of the various places against another. So the boat starts with incredibly large exterior areas. I would say, I believe even after a while the boat's been designed, she's still the boat in that size range with the biggest exterior areas on the market. Namely, the sun deck is around 800 square feet, which is quite amazing for a boat of that size, and almost 55 feet long, just the sun deck. But also the inside areas are really big, starting from the 500 square feet main lounge or the very nice upper lounge. But there were two things we really focused on. One was the connection between the inside and outside areas and the brightness. So we get so much natural light on the inside that when you're sailing in the main lounge, it almost feels like you're on a sailing boat, and outside in the cockpit, And the other thing is we kind of challenged ourselves and the technical department to have a lot of interaction between the technical staff and the architecture on board, so that, for example, the engine room ventilation has been moved in the aft fashion plates. So when you step on board, you will have this main lounge with this beautiful 180 degrees glass door on the back with unintroduced. So when you're in the saloon, you don't have those ugly, bulky corners of cabinetry in the aft corners, but you have a continuous glass, basically, surface. And And that keeps on with the whole concept of technical stuff not intruding in the guest amenities goes on in everywhere in the boat. So we have centralized audio video, so no racks in the cabinets in every station, for example, and on and on and on. We took a very holistic approach.
It was. And also, if you think about it, I mean, how long ago did you put pen to paper or pencil to paper on that project?
Well, it was the very beginning of 2013. So it's 7 years now.
And you think
More
about
than 7 years now.
the emphasis on the foredeck, for example, all that exterior outdoor space, you know, designs of 10, 12, 13 years ago, that was an afterthought. They said, let's put some bow cushions up there and we'll call it good, right?
Yeah, we almost invented the way that that area is used on the Mediterranean, because even at the time that boat was designed, there already were some Portuguese deck that were nice in shape. But what we did on the Mediterranean was quite radical. We opened up the whole deck, so it's basically a free empty teak deck where you can bring your own furniture and you can actually customize each boat as you wish to. And there's this beautiful plunge pool at the very end of the Portuguese deck, which is in the most spectacular place on board. You basically have a lot of privacy from whether you're moored stern to dock or side to dock. You have a lot of privacy, and at the same time, you have a fantastic panoramic vista.
The impressiveness of the wheelhouse too, on the 95 and the 116 and the 145, the vertical wheelhouse, if you will, the windows, it's almost like an expedition style yacht when you look at it. That was interesting. How did that come about? Because there's so many different choices you could have done there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know, these boats are not fast, sporty day boats just to go to the islands on the Friday and then back on Sunday evening. These are proper little ships, and I wanted to convey that feeling, both from an aesthetical point of view and also functionally, that you can actually sail the world with these boats. So not just the wheelhouse, every window on the boat is perfectly vertical. That helps in so many ways that you cannot even imagine, I guess. Well, first of all, it gives it a boldness, a physical presence.
Yes.
That makes her really say, you know, I'm a ship. I'm a little ship, but I'm a ship.
Yes.
I can take whatever sea you want to sail in, and I will be safe for you and your dear ones. Secondly, you have more space inside because your curtains are going to be vertical, so you're not wasting any space with that useless inclination. You have less reflections in the wheelhouse, better visibility. Your wipers are going to work better. It's only advantages.
It was spectacular, and you alluded to the fact that they're displacement yachts, so we don't need a lot of horsepower to run these boats. You know, 15, 16 knots maximum. So in this day and age, when everyone's looking to be ecologically friendly and environmentally friendly, small engines, you know, not burning a lot of fuel is
no, absolutely. They're incredibly efficient. I mean, forgive me if I'm giving you numbers that are not super precise, but I'm willing to bet that the Mediterranean at 10 knots, which is its economical speed basically, is burning less than 25 gallons an hour, including generators. It's really
that's
like
incredible.
nothing.
Yeah, that's incredible. You know, I want to first of all thank you for the time that you spent with me this morning and this afternoon. I know you're busy and you've been doing a lot of these the past few weeks.
No worries, it's a pleasure.
I wanted to just leave it with, I know you've worked with a bunch of us and including a lot of yacht brokers in the Americas, but what would you like to convey to the yacht brokers out there that you haven't done business with, and also for that matter, the clients that you haven't worked with in the Americas? Because we really enjoy working with you, but what would you say to them?
Well, first of all, thank you for the space for self-promotion here. Well, I would say we can work very well together. The experience I have, well, in general, we have very good experience as a design studio with American clients. We sort of speak a very similar language. I like to be extremely transparent with my clients. I'm not someone that needs to sell or oversell his work. What I like to do is always take a very rational approach. So you come to me with a request for a semi-custom or a custom boat. We sit together, we think a lot what's the best path to get there. We don't hide any of the issues that may arise during the process to each other. And this way we work around our constraints and we work with our briefing to bring the product to the maximum, level of quality and
Yes.
and to conceive it the best way possible. So what I can say is, in the end, just don't be scared. Take up the phone or the email. Just give us a
Exactly.
call, and we can build the next most beautiful boat for you.
Thank you, Giorgio. Look forward to talking to you soon. Thanks again for your time today.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Nick. See you soon, hopefully.
See you soon.